In this video, you're going to learn how to make this WordPress website with the Divi Builder. By the end of this tutorial, you will know what's the Divi theme and the Visual Builder, how to create your first page, understand the Divi structure, set general styles for your website, how to add different types of content to your website, create a menu, clone existing contents and pages, how to create a custom header and footer with the theme builder, and to customize styles for mobile and different devices. This tutorial is aimed for beginners, and the goal is to show you how easy it is to make an entire WordPress website with the Divi theme. Let's get started. Okay, so this is the website we're building today. It's a normal website for a company or a small business. And as you can see, it has different types of contents like images. It has this video as a background. It has logos and this post from the blog. And it has 3 pages with different layouts. It has this contact page with a contact form and embedded Google Maps. So it's kind of a simple website, but the purpose of this tutorial is to show you how easy it is to build a website like this one with the Divi theme. Okay, so for those who don't know what Divi is, it's a very popular WordPress theme. It's made by this company Elegant Themes, so if you're interested in this, you need to go to elegantthemes.com. And it's very popular because it comes with a visual builder that helps you create different types of website in a very easy and fast way with a drag and drop system where you can edit most of any type of content just from the front end. So as you can see, you can just drag and drop an image, a text, and edit the font, the colors, the styles of most of the elements in your website, which makes it super easy to use. This is it's a premium theme, it's paid, and as you can see, you can access 2 plans, once with a yearly payment for $89, and I guess at least for me, this is the best alternative because you get a lifetime access with unlimited use. You can create as many websites as you want just for $249. So I have created, I don't know, at least 100 sites with this theme, and I only paid once with this lifetime access. So at least I think it's a great option. What else you get once you get any of these plans? You get access to the Divi theme, and also you get access to the Divi Builder as a plugin. So if you're using, if you don't want to use the Divi theme and you already have a different theme, you can install the builder as a plugin. Also, you get access to another theme, the magazine extra theme, and to these 2 plugins, Bloom, which is an email opt-in plugin, and Monarch, which lets you add social shares and following icons to your social media. What else can I show you? Well, one thing I like about the Divi theme as well is that you get access to hundreds of already designed layouts. This is very helpful if you are starting with web creation, and this will help you to, I don't know, you can, for example, if you are creating let's say, I don't know, a fashion company, or you have a fashion small business like a spa or a salon or whatever, you can find a layout here and you can use this. So here you can see how your website could look, and you will import this entire page, and later you can modify the text, change the images, and it's a great way to get started if you don't have like a web design. So it's a great tool. Okay, so once you have decided to get this theme and you have signed for any of these plans, you will of course create an account here. And the next thing is go to your account, and what we need to do here is to download the Divi theme. So click there, so you can see it's downloading the Divi files, and we will go to our WordPress website. So what I'm doing here is I have already installed a WordPress website on my local environment. In this case, I'm using this tool called Local, which I think is made by Kinsta, which is a very known hosting provider, and it's super easy to use, so search for that on Google. And okay, so I have a WordPress which comes with the default theme, but what we want to do now is go to the dashboard. We're going to Appearance and Themes, and here we're going to upload the Divi theme. So click here on Upload Theme, choose File, and there we go. Click on Install Now. So now we need to activate this. So as you can see, well, as by default, WordPress comes with these 3 themes, but now we have uploaded the Divi theme and it's activated as the current theme on our website. So the next thing we're going to do is go to the Divi theme options, and well, as you can see, once we have activated the Divi theme, adds this Divi menu with all these options, and now we're going to go here to the Divi theme options. So here we go to updates, and we're going to enter our credentials for the Divi theme. So let's go back to the Elegant Themes account. Here you have this username and API keys. So I'm just gonna copy my username, and here you can create different API keys for different projects, or you can use the same one for all your projects. So I'm just gonna copy one and save those changes. And now we have our Divi theme activated and set, so we can start creating our project. I'm just gonna close this. And the first thing I always like to do is to create a new page. So I'm going to go here to Pages, click on Add New, and I'm gonna call this Home. So as you can see, because we have the Divi theme installed and activated, what we see here is this screen that gives us the option to use the Divi Builder or use the default editor. If I click here, I get the default editor that comes with WordPress, but if we want to use the Divi Builder, we can click on this purple button. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click here, Edit with the Divi Builder. So the first time it shows us this pop-up, I'm just going to click on Start Building, and this will prompt these 3 options, which we will see later. But what is this asking us is we have the option to build from scratch. This will give us a blank page. We can choose one of the pre-made layouts the ones I was showing you before. And if we already have some pages, we can clone one of those and use the same layout. In this case, we're going to start building from scratch. So let's click on that. And as you can see, we have a blank page. By default, Divi comes with its logo, and it's showing us this footer. So in this case, we created a blank page, and what we're going to do now, what I'm going to show you now, it's the basic Divi structure, which is a very similar structure to many frameworks like Bootstrap, for example. Okay, so as you can see, we have this what is called section in this blue outline, and inside of each section we can find this green button which allows us to add rows. So each row can be composed with a different structure which is defined by a different amount of columns, and in some cases those columns can have like different sizes. So in this case, I'm going to add a row of 1 column, and once we add our row, we are asked to insert a module, which in Divi, modules are different types of content. So as you can see here, I can scroll down and select different types of content like accordions, an audio module, a blog, a button. I can add a contact form, images, a login module, and many other things. So in this case, I'm going to add, for example, a text module, which once I click on that, inserts the module, and it shows it with the default text. And as you can see, it opens this pop-up. You can change the size of it, and here you have a very normal text editor. So it's very easy to change the text, remove it. Here you can paste another text, and well, later I will show you these other tabs. So let me click on that, and well, we just created this new page. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to save this page. And the first time before saving it, we need to publish it. So as you can see, we have these 3 dots here. If I click, it shows me different options, and I'm going to click here on publish. Now it's published, and now the button has changed to a save button. And what I think I like to do is you always can click here, but you also can press Command S or Control S, and as you can see, it's saving the changes we have made to our page. Okay, so now we have our home page created. Let's go back to the site we're going to create to see what we need to do and start creating this page. One thing I always like to do before starting adding modules and images and different types of content to the page is to set some default styles for the website, especially the font family and some colors and text sizes. So to do that, I always use this Chrome extension called What Font, which is super helpful. So to use it, well, first you need to install it, and once you have installed it, just click on it, What Font, and as you can see, if I put the mouse over a text, it shows me the font family, and if I click on it, it will give me more information like the style, the weight, the size, the color. So it's super helpful. As you can see, I can do it with all the text that I want. So for what I see, the font used in this website is Open Sans. It's clear. So let's set that. Okay, so and click on exit. Let's go back to the page we're building, and to set this as a default font family, we need to go to the theme customizer. So you will find this here, and as you can see, it opens this menu with many options. So what we are going to do is go to General Settings, Typography, and here you can set default text size for the body, line height, text size for the titles, and here we have the font for the header and the body. So something that is missing is a search bar. It's a bit annoying to manually need to scroll down, but anyways, it's the only way I know we can set this. So we saw that the font used here was Open Sans. So where is it? Here it is. So now every title we add, every header we add as a text module to the website, it will come with Open Sans as the default font family. But if we want a title with a different font, we can set that in the design options in the module. We will see that later. So let's do the same with the body font. Okay, so Open Sans, and we are ready to publish. Okay, so we are done. Let's close this, and now let's go back to the original site. So, well, what I like to do here is to think what's the structure here. So for what I can see, first we have this section which has this video as a background. I also think it has like a light gradient over the video. I'm not sure, but we can try to how to do that. It has this is a text module with a title, and it has this text module with a paragraph and a button. Below that we have another section with a 2 columns row, and in the left side we have an image, and here we have a text module with a button, and probably this row, it has a border button or a separator. And there are so many different ways to accomplish the same result. So sometimes there are better ways to do something, and sometimes it's up to what do you like to do, like what's better for you. Okay, so let's start building this. What I'm going to do is to copy this, and we're going to go back to our page and enable the Visual Builder. So let me remove this, and as we can see, we have this video as a background here. So first I'm going to add a color. Yes, let me use this blue color. So we have an idea of our section, and I'm going to add another section to have the idea of we are building this part of the website. And I'm going to add a row with just one column. Here we can search for the text module, and let's paste here. So if I just paste it, it will paste it with the styles, the same styles that are applied here. Of course, we need to change the color, align everything to the center, but we know that this is an H1 and this is an H2. Okay. So next thing, so each module has these 3 tabs. Sometimes you can find different options under each tab. It always depends on the module you're working. So in the case of the text modules, here you will find the text, the tab to add your text. You have this text editor here, and you can add a link, set a background for the module, and then in this tab you will change all the design, the colors, the sizes, the line heights, weight, and many other things for your text. So in this case, I think we have white as a color, and again I'm going to use what font, so I can see that this is a normal style, a weight of 700, the size is 36, and line height is 43. So let's go here. So because we want to change the style of this heading, we will go to this menu. As you can see here, you can select the type of heading you want to edit. In this case, H1. Let's set it to white. Probably is bold. Yeah, I think it's bold. It was 36 size and 43 pixels line height. And everything, it's aligned to the center, so we can change that here in text. Here is the menu to change the text alignment. No, I'm sorry. These both are headings, so let's change it here. And this was an H2. So there you go. This is white as well. And let's see the specs of this H2. So this H2 is a very light text. It's only 326 and 36. So probably it's light. 26, which is the default size for H2, and 36. So we are now set. But as you can see, our text, it looks like wider than the text in the original site. So what we can do here is go to the module settings, go to design, and here we will find the sizing option. And what we can do is to make it, reduce the width, for example. That's one way to do it, or we can set in a percentage. You can set it in pixels as well, setting a maximum width. But I think maybe 80% will do it. And yeah, I think that's fine. But as you can see, it's now aligned to the left. So we need to change that. In this sizing module, you can set it center everything. So now it looks very similar. So next thing, as you can see here, we have this light green color in these bold words. So again, click on exit what font, and in what font, click on it, and I'm just going to change. I'm just going to copy this color code. Let's go back to the text settings, and the way I do this is, okay, let's select the words we want to change the color. We can do it here, but sadly this doesn't have an option to add a custom color code, so I will just pick any color, and then let me do it for all these bold words. So then this one, doesn't matter which color you choose, and this one. So now, because we want these words to be in the light green color in the original site, I'm gonna go to this tab, text, that will show you the HTML code, and here we can find that there's an style color applied in this span, so we just need to change this. Sorry. So let me copy again this. Let's go back, and there you go. Here, and this one. So now we have those words in the green that we want. Okay, I'm just going to press Command S to save these changes, and let's go back to the original site. And of course, let's add this video as a background. So I already have all the assets of this website downloaded in this folder, like the images, the logo. Here we have this video, and as you can see, it doesn't has this gradient, so definitely it's added here somewhere. So let's try to replicate this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to add this video as a background. So we already set this blue color as a background, and here you will find many options. You can add a gradient as a background, an image, a video. You can set a background pattern or a mask. In this case, we will go to this one, and here you can upload your video file, or you even can insert a URL from YouTube, Vimeo, or your own server. In this case, I'm going to upload this as a video file. So we just can drop it here and upload this video. And there you go. As you can see, there we have the video, and of course it does not look like we want. So a few things I'm seeing here is that we have some padding in the top and in the bottom, and of course the gradient over the video. So if I go here, one thing that you could do is to add a gradient here, but the problem is that this gradient, let me show you. Okay, so if I create a new gradient, it comes with these colors by default. That's okay, but as you can see, it's under the video. So here we have this option to place the gradient above the background image, but it only works with images. It won't work with video. So if I set it to yes, As you can see, we still see the video above the gradient. So this is not the way we can accomplish that. So I'm just going to remove that gradient, and what we need to do is to create a gradient background in the row. So we can do that here. Let's go to row settings. In these settings you will find in most of the rows, settings, sections and modules, mainly the same options. So as you can see here, we have the link and background menus as well. Let's click on background. Let's go to gradient and let's create a new gradient. And as you can see now, in this case, because we're adding the gradient in the row settings, it's over the video. So that's what we want, but of course we need to find the right colors, the opacity, and we have this problem that we have this space here that we don't want. So let's change that. So what I'm going to do is go to the section settings. I'm going to design and to this menu called spacing, and here you will find the margin and paddings options. So I'm going to set this to 0, 0, 0, 0, and as you can see, let's click on OK. What that does is to remove the space in the top and in the bottom, and it removes it in the left and right. But the problem here is that our row, it's not a full width row. So let's change that. Let's go to the row settings, design, and let's go to sizing. So as you can see here, the width is set to 80%. So we want 100%, which doesn't make any changes because by default this comes with a maximum width set to 1080 pixels. So what we are going to do here is to change this to 100%, and now we have our row fully over the video and the section. So let me save this. We're going back to the site. So what I'm going to do now is go to the inspector and trying to find out the color codes for the gradient. So I think here, yes, as you can see, if I deactivate this, it removes the gradient. So definitely these are the color codes. So what I can do is to copy this color. We have one color with 0 opacity. So let's go back to our site, and here I'm going to the row settings. Let's go to background, and to edit the gradient we have these two gradient stops. Let's click on the first one and paste the color code and click on OK. Let's go back to get the second one. In this case is show us like an RGBA color code, which means that here we have the opacity set as well, and I think I can use that. Let me try it. So let's go back here, let's go again to the row settings, gradient, and let's choose the second color stop, and let's see if this works. No. Let me get the hex color code. So to do that, you will need to click on it. It will open up this color picker, and you can click here and copy this. So we just need, I think, the first six numbers. So let's copy that. And there we go. And that. Let me find it again here. So yeah, it's this one. So this is set to 0. Maybe let's leave it in 0.1 or something like that, because if it's 0, it doesn't make much sense. I'm going to leave it in 0.3. Okay, so next thing, we need to add some padding here. Now, let me close this. And I think the padding is set here in the row settings as well. So let me try with, I don't know, 100. Yeah, I think that's fine. And 100 as well. Something like that. Later we can make some more adjustments. Yeah, I think it's less than 100 in the top, maybe 80. Yeah, looks fine. So as you can see, this text module is still way too wide, so we need to decrease the width here in sizing. Let's set it to 60%. And great. This is still looking very similar. So the next thing we need to add is this button here. So to do that, what I'm going to do is you need to place the mouse over this module, and as you can see, it shows this plus button, same here, which lets you add another module or another type of content. In this case, we're going to use the button module. Click on it, and this is the default style. So let's go to settings, let's go to design, and let's change the alignment to center. Yes, this says more, and we can do the same here with this what font Chrome extension. It's Open Sans, set to 60 and 27 line height. So to customize this button, we need to go here to the button module, menu, and we need to turn on this use custom styles. So let's set it to yes, and as you can see here, we can access different options to customize this. So in this case, I don't have this color, so to get it, again, I'm going to open the inspector. I'm going to select this, and here it is showing me the color code for the border. So what I'm going to do is to set this, well, it has a border radius of 25. Yeah, 25. The border color, we can add it here, but what I'm going to do here is to first, I'm going to set the text color to white, and I'm going to set the border color to the one we just copied, but I'm going to create a global color, which means that you will be saving these colors so you can use it later on different modules for different purposes. So here we have these three options. As you can see, they are showing always that you need to set a color for an element. So to create a global color, we go here and we click here on this plus button. I'm just going to copy this. There you go. We have this color added as a global, but now we need to set it for the border. So click on it, and as you can see, now we have a pretty similar button. Let's make more adjustments, like this text says more. It's definitely bolder, so we can go here to the font weight. Let's set it to bold, and it has some padding to the left and right. As you can see as well, when we place the mouse over, it shows this icon and it changes the background color. So let's do that. So we have the icon already there. It comes by default, but we need to add more padding to left and right. So let's go to spacing. Here we can set it to, I don't know, 30. I think it's a little, maybe 35, 36. Yeah, I think that's pretty similar. And now we need to make this button change its background in the hover state. So to do that, let's go to here where we set the background colors. And as you can see, and this happens in the many different options. So when you place the mouse over the aspect of the design you want to change, it shows these icons. So here it has this question mark that if you click on it, it will give you this little short explanation of what you can do here. Then you have this mobile icon. So if we click on it, we will access these tabs, which allows you to set a custom style for phone, tablet, and desktop. So this is the way you make adjustments for the different devices. And here you have this cursor icon. So if we click on it, it will give us the the hover state. So we can set that. So let's click on it, hover, and here I'm going to use the global color we already set. So let's click on that, and as you can see, if I go back to the normal state, now when I place my mouse over, it changes the background color. So that's the way you can create a hover state, in this case for a button, or it's the same way for a text or different models. So let's click on OK, and let's save these changes. Okay, so I think let me close this. As you can see, the first section of our website, it's pretty similar. We could make some adjustments here, maybe to the padding to the bottom. As you can see, you also can do it here, but it's sometimes it's an easier way to do it, but it's not like the most precise way. But anyways, it's good that you know that you have that option available. Okay, so next, let's go back to the original site. So this is next. We will be adding this. This is a different section with a 2 columns row, and we have an image here and a text module and a button. Okay, so let's go back here and let's start building this. What we need to do now is to add a new row. In this case, it's a 2-column row, and I think this one will work. We can change that later. So as we can see here, we have an image, a text module, and a button. Okay, so let's click on Insert Module, and we will be adding an image module. As you can see, this is very intuitive, it's very easy to use, and if you have any experience with WordPress, it will be super easy for you to use this visual builder. Okay, so as I mentioned before, I already have all my assets here. So I think in this case we have, let me go back, the logo of the company. Yeah, just going to drop it here, upload image, and in this case we have different design options as we have seen before with the text module or the rows and sections. I'm going to align it to the center. Let's click on OK, and now I'm going to add a text module. Let me go back so I can copy this, and let's paste it here. Okay, so we need to get these title styles. In this case, we have a new color that we haven't used before. Size and line height are set to 26. So this is an H2. Let's go to heading text, H2, probably bold or semi-bold. I think that works. Let me add it as a global styles in case we use this again later. So that's it. By default is set to 26, and for what I remember, line height was set to 26 as well. Let's click on OK. And for the paragraph, I think it looks very similar. Anyways, let me copy this. Size is 14 and line height is 24. So let's go to design, text, 14. This was set to 24 pixels, which is pretty much the same. And the color was the default color, which is, yeah, it's the same. But for some reason, this doesn't look the same. Well, we're still missing one module, which is the button module. And what I'm going to do here is it's kind of similar to this button. It's not exactly the same because this has a solid color. But what I can do is to copy this module so I can use it here. And there are different ways to do this. One is here we have this duplicate module icon, so if I click on it, I get the same module and I just can drag it and drop it here. Super easy. And the other way to accomplish the same is I can go to the module I'm interested in, right click on it. This will show you this menu and you can copy the module. Let's go here and we can paste the module, and there it is. Two different ways to accomplish the same. So now we are going to modify the styles of this button. So let's go to design, button, and we need to set a background color, which is this color. Now we need to align it to the left. And now another thing I notice is that the font weight It's probably irregular. Yeah. And it says more info. So I think it's a little smaller, doesn't have as much padding as the other one, so we can change that, but it's not really something that bothers me. I'm just gonna leave it there in 20 pixels. As you can see, you can link the left and right with this option. And now it's very similar. Of course, we can keep making more adjustments to make it look the same. So what I do want to do now is to make it look like this, because this is too wide. So what we're going to do is go to the row settings, and here I'm going to decrease the size of it. So let's set it, I don't know, maybe 50%. It's kind of, so if I put it there, it's a bit different. One thing I can tell is that this image, it's vertically aligned with this column. So this element is in the middle of the entire height of this column, and that's something I really like. I use it a lot, but there's no option to accomplish that in the Visual Builder. So you need to make it with a little bit of code. So to do that, we will be going here to the row settings. Let's go to design, and here in sizing you will find this option. So we can equalize the column heights. So this is because in this case the left column has only one element, this image, and is smaller than all the elements in the right column. But with this option, the height of this column, it's the same as the highest column in the row. So first you need to do that, and the next thing is we're going to click here on Advanced. Here you will find different options, from setting an ID or a class to the row, and this is the same for each element. You can do it in a module level. You can add custom CSS, some conditions. For example, if you want this element only being visible for users that are logged into your website or things like that, you can set visibility options, like I don't want this image to be visible on mobile, for example. Set transitions, position, and scroll effects. Well, so in this case we're going to custom CSS, and here on main element we're going to add this little piece of code, align items. As you can see, if I start typing it, it will show it that drop down, and here I can set it to center. And as you can see now, the image, it's aligned vertically to the next column, to the highest column. So now it looks pretty much the same. Yeah, I like it. So let me click on save. One thing we're missing is this line. So again, there are different ways to accomplish this. We could be adding, for example, a bottom border. We can add a new row with just one column, and there's a module called, I think it's divider, yes. And as you can see, it shows just a line that of course you can adjust. So we're going to do that. Let me find out the color of this. So, well, and if I go here to the inspector, I can tell that this is done in this way with a divider module, because here we have the classes from a divider module. So let's see if we can find out the color here. Not sure where it is, but there's a different way to accomplish this. So I always help myself with a lot of these Chrome extensions, and I use this one a lot, which is I think it's called Colorzilla, yeah, Colorzilla, which is a color picker. So if I just place the mouse over there, it will give me the color. So I click on it, I go here to design, line, let me add it as a global color as well, paste it there and select it, and there it is. Let's save this. What's next is this section. So because this is these two rows or sections, these two areas in this web page share the same background, what we can do is to add it in the same section. So what we need to do now is to add a new row. In this case, it's a 2-column row, I think of the same size, and we're going to, it's very similar to this, but of course with different information. So in this case, we have a text module. Sorry, let me copy that. And here we have an image. Let me go to my assets folder, and I think it's probably this one. I'll upload the image. There it is. And here, as you can see, these elements are also vertically aligned with this one, so it's done the same way as we align this. I will show it again. So let me get the colors of this title, which is set to 26. And here we have a different color. So let's go to this. It's a H2, so let's go to H2. Let's set it to bold. And it's 26. This was set to 26 as well. And here, this entire phrase is with a different color. So let's do it as we did in the beginning. There you go. And this is also a different color. This is pretty sure it's not the same, so yeah, just gonna get it. Let's go to text, design, text, and let's add it as a global color. Select it, and that's it. Okay, so What else? So we're missing a button. Yes, so it's the same style as this button, so I'm just gonna duplicate this and drop it here. It says read more, so let me change that here. And of course, with every button, and in this themes allows you to do this with every element you add to the website. You can add a link to it. So in this case, if you want to link this button to a specific page, you just need to add it like this. Or if it's an external URL, you can just paste the URL here. And here you can set it if you want to open it in the same window or in a new tab. As you can see, this is super easy to use. It's super intuitive, and once you start to making website with this theme and the Visual Builder, it will be very easy, and it will allow you to make different type of websites super fast. So let's vertically align this. So again, let's equalize the column heights. Let's go to Advanced, Custom CSS, and align items center. And there it is. So yeah, it looks pretty much the same to me. I think maybe the only difference, let me check it, is that this text looks, the different color phrase is in the second line. So how can we make that happen? For example, here if we go to row settings and design, we have this option as well to use a custom gutter width, which is the space between the two columns. If I change that, by default this is set to 3, but I can reduce that. See? So well, I thought that was a way to accomplish it, but yeah, I don't think that is how this is made. So maybe it's as easy as this. Yeah, that was much simpler than I thought. Okay, so yeah, looks pretty good to me. As you can see, if I go from one page to another, it looks super similar. Yeah. Okay, let's save this. And what's next? Okay, here we have something different. We have these icons, these custom-made icons, and if you're over on them, it changes the size. Same with these texts. If you place the cursor over, changes the color. And of course, these are buttons. So if we click on it, it should take us to a different page. It has all these lines dividing them. So okay, let's try to make this. So first thing, I'm going to copy the color using this Chrome extension, and now in this case I'm going to add a new section because we have a different background. So every time you click on add a new section, you will be asked to choose between regular, specialty, and a full width. Most of the time I use regular. There are only a few cases when I choose one of these, but let me show you. Here you have like a different layouts, right? And in the full width, well, explains itself, is just one full width section, and in this case it has a different different color, but as I said, I always use regular most 99% of the time. And another thing I will show you later is that we have this tab called Add from Library. In this case, we can click on it and it won't show us nothing because we haven't saved anything to our library. But what you need to know about this is that every section, every row, every module, you can save it to a library, so you can use it later in a different page, in a different section of the website you are building. It will copy the same. For example, if we want to save this row or this entire section, we can save it to the library and add it later to a different place in the website. Okay, so let's go back to what we were doing. Let's add a new section, a regular. I'm going to add the background color first. Not sure it's this one. Yeah, I think it's... No, it's not the same. Oh, let me add a new one. Sorry. So let's add a new global color. Yes, and there we have it. So now we have this title. So we have definitely a one column row. Let's choose a text module. And this is what it is. It's an H2. So let's go to H2, definitely bold. It's aligned to the center. And as before, the same way as I did before, I'm going to change it just to one of these colors. It's okay. And that's maybe even that's the same color. I'm not sure, but it looks like the same. Yeah, so it's a little different, but it works. Okay, so now we need to add this. And the way this is done, I think, is here we have 3 columns row. Here we have a 2 columns row. So let's try to do it. So let's add a 3 columns row. And then I'm going to add a 2 columns row. In each column, here we have one image and one text, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one image. I'm going to add one text module. What I like to do here is to build first one column. Like I want it to look exactly the same. So let me see which icon is it. It's this one. Let's go to the asset folder and this one. Okay. Next, I'm going to copy this. And this is set to bold. Align in the middle. So what is it? It's an H2. So bold, middle, yeah, is set to 23. Yeah, so we need to set that to 23, same with line height. And of course, this image needs some adjustments as well. So let's align it to the center. And yeah, it's definitely too big. So we're going to set it a maximum width of 300 pixels. There, I think it's maybe 200. Yeah, I think that works. As you can see, this image, the space between the image and the title is not as big as this. So what we need to change this is in the image settings. Let's go to spacing and let's reduce the margin bottom. By default, this comes with I think 30. So yeah, if I set it to 30, nothing happens because it's already set to that. But if I set it to 10, as you can see, it reduces the space made by that margin bottom from the image to the title. I think that's fine. Maybe it's 5, but I think that looks fine. So why I wanted to make this column first, because here again I have different ways to create the other columns. For example, what can I do now is to duplicate these elements and just drag them here and here, and now I just can replace this image, right? So here, and next, but a different way to accomplish the same is I can go to the row settings, I can remove this column and I can duplicate this one. So now I have it again. There it is. So in this case I'm going to change the image. I'm not going to bother changing the text because I don't want to waste time doing that, but you already know how to do it. So it's super simple. So next thing, well, we have these border lines. So what we can do is to choose this middle column and add one border line to the left and one to the right. So to do that, we're going to the row settings. As you can see here, in each column you can access settings as well, and it's the same. You can set a link specific for that column. You have design specs you can change for that column. In this case, we're looking for border. So we're going to add here in the border styles section, we need to add one border to the left. Let's set it to 1 pixel. I think this color works, this very dark blue, and 1 pixel width. Let me see, yeah, to the right. Let's change the color. So that works fine. And we have this border, but I think in this case, or we can accomplish this in different ways. And one way to do it is to add it as a bottom border in the row. So let's go to border here. Let's select bottom and let's change the color, and there you go. So as you can see, it adds that border bottom, but we still have this space which is made by padding. So let's go to design in the row settings and let's set this padding to 0. Yeah, that works. That seems fine. Let's set it to OK. So the next adjustment we want to make is to add some space between this title and the bottom of this row. And to do that, let's go to row settings. In this case, we're going to make this adjustment only on the middle column. So let's select that. Let's go to design, spacing, and from here we're going to add some padding to the bottom. I think 20 looks fine. And as you can see, now we have in each column and space between the title and the bottom. Great, so now let's create this second row. For this case, I'm just going to duplicate these items and drop them here. So click on duplicate, super easy to use. For the second column, I'm just going to duplicate the entire column, and there we go. So now we are missing a line separating these two columns, so I'm just going to add it as a border here, a right border of 1 pixel. Let's set the color right. So we need to reduce this padding top. Yeah, that looks right. And as you can see, it's not perfectly aligned to the center. So to fix that, let's go back to the row settings. Let's go to design, sizing, and we're going to use this option, custom gutters, and we're going to reduce it to 0 or to 1. Yeah, and now it's perfectly aligned with the middle of the row, so that looks great. What's next? We should add some padding to the top. So, and as you can see, what I'm doing is adding this inside of each column. This is not padding added in the row, but in the columns. So let's set that to 30. And that looks pretty good. Let me change these images. I think it's this one. Okay, and this one. Yeah, so looks pretty good. The next thing I like to do here is this hover effect. So when you place the mouse over one of these icons, it scales them down, as you can see, and in the case of the titles, it changes the color. So let's do that. So to create this effect, what we will do is to go to the settings of the image. Let's go to the design tab, and here you will find this transform menu, where you will find different options of transform, like skew and rotate, and in this case scale, which is the one we're going to use. So as I showed you before, if you place the mouse over these options, you will get this menu, and here we have the hover menu. So click on that. Now let's click on hover, and what I'm going to do is to adjust this to 90%. So when we place our mouse over the icon, it changes the size, reducing it by 10%. As you can see, if I choose desktop, it shows me the real size, and if I choose hover, it shows me what is going to happen when I hover the icon. So let's click on OK, and now that is set, but I need to make the same effect for each of these icons. So what I'm going to do is to go to the module. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to copy the module styles. So let's go to this option and click on it, and now I'm going to paste the module styles on this one. Let's do the same here, paste module styles, paste module styles. Now I'm going to save it. Because this is an effect that I can't see it working while I have enabled the Visual Builder, I'm going to exit it to see if it's working right. And as you can see, now we have the same effect in each of these icons. It's working great, and copying it was the fastest way to accomplish this. So let's enable it again. Now what I'm going to do is to set the hover state for the titles. So in this case, we're working with H2. So we need to go to the text color options, click on the cursor icon, click on hover state, and I think we can use this color. So same, if I choose desktop, it's showing me the normal state, and if I choose hover, it shows me that the color has changed. So let's click on OK, and let's do the same thing that we did before by copying the module styles and pasting it in these other titles. Okay. There's different ways to do this. I like to do it this way. Maybe it's not the fastest, but yeah, there are different ways to make it. Let's save, and what's next? Okay, so we have this new section with white background and just this text and a button. And what I'm going to do is to add a new section, a regular one, just one column row. Let's add a text. I'm just gonna paste it here. This is an H2. Align it to the center, and now I'm going to create a new button. So let's add this new module. I'm going to align it to the center. Let's go to button and turn on the custom styles. Let's see what type of font this is. Open Sans again. I think this is regular. Size 18 pixels. Line height 31. So this was 18. And I think we have a border radius of 25 at least. This is a new color that we haven't used, I think. Not sure about that, but anyways, I'm going to get it with the inspector. So we need to change this. So let me add it as a global new color. That's okay. And we need to change to this one. Doesn't have a border, or the border is green, and we can say that when we are in the hover state. So let me change that. It says read more. So in the hover state, this will turn to this dark blue or purple. I think the border width is just 1 pixel. And probably the text color changes as well. In the hover state, yes, it goes to white. So let's set that here. Click on hover, set it to white, and I think this is lighter than regular. Really sure about that. let's see how it looks with a lighter. I think that's way too light. Yeah, let's keep it on regular, and definitely has some padding to the left and right, so let's set that. So we need to go to spacing and let's set it, I don't know, to 30, maybe 40. Yeah, and I think it's a lighter font weight, so let's change that to light. Not absolutely convinced, so I'm just gonna leave it on regular. Okay, let's save that. That was easy, so what's next? Oh, well, in this case, this is lighter. Yeah, and still this button needs more padding to the sides, so I'm just gonna keep it on 50. Yeah, well, I don't know, it looks good. Of course, you can always make like very specific adjustments, but the purpose is to show you how this works. And guys, please leave any comments or questions you have. I'll always try to answer them all. I appreciate you watching this video. I hope this is helpful for anyone. Okay, so next we have this section with 3 posts. So in this case, we need to do something first. We need to create this blog post. So let's do that. So what I'm going to do is in the website we're building, I'm going to save this. Let's exit the Visual Builder and let's go to the admin dashboard. So here we need to go to post. As always, this by default WordPress comes with this hello world post. What I'm going to do is go to libsam.com to get this dummy text. Just gonna copy this and I'm going to create the other 2 blog posts. So to do that, just gonna name this blog post 2. In this case, I'm just going to use the default editor, which is getting better every day, but of course it still depends on what you want to do. So here I'm going to add a future image. So let's select this one. Just going to publish it. Now I'm going to add a new post. Blog post number 3. Again, default editor. Let's paste the same text. Doesn't matter for the case of this tutorial. Let me set a different image. I'm going to upload another one. So I guess this one. Let's publish this. And I forgot to add an image. And of course, same text to the hello world post. So let's upload a 3rd image. Update that. And now we are set to add this. Oh, sorry. Well, this happened because I haven't set the homepage we're building as the main page. So let's do that. So we need to go to settings, reading, and here we can set the homepage. By default, it comes as a page with the latest post, which is called archive, I think. And But here you can select a static page, which will be the home page, in this case the home. So let me save that. Let's go to visit site. Well, as you can see, we have this menu, but it's showing us all the pages that currently exist in the site because we haven't created a menu, which we will do later. And a weird thing I'm seeing, this is supposed to be white. So let me see what happened there. Yeah, it should be white. So let's fix that. Not sure what happened there, but doesn't matter. We can fix this. So let's go to design. This is an H2, I think. Yeah. Maybe I just never set it in the first place. Can't remember. Anyway. What I think it happened here is that maybe we changed the color. Well, not gonna bother trying to fix it. I'm just gonna rebuild it, which it should be easy, something easy. So let me make this again, and let's add a new text. So as you can see, what I'm going to do different this time, I'm going to add this as two different text modules. Why? Well, I really don't have a real reason. I just felt like showing you this is possible, another way to solve things. So let's keep that in the center. That's white. This should be 36. That's okay. And this, so this is an H2, which we will set to white, lightweight, and the size is 36, no, sorry, 26, which is the default size, so that's perfect. Next thing, I need to center this, but still the module is way too wide, so let's go to sizing and let's reduce this. I think that's fine. In this case, because I made this with two separate modules, it has a bigger margin that we need. So let's go to this title, let's go to design, spacing, and let's reduce the margin bottom to, I don't know, I think by default is 40 or something. Let's keep it on 20. I think 20 is fine. And last thing is to get the color of this text. I think we have that one saved, but remember what I do here is to select this and change it here in this text editor. Just pick any color, that one and that one. Then let's go to text, and here I'm going to change the code so we get the green color we're looking for. And that's it. See, that was easy, super easy to do. So okay, let's go back to what we were doing. So we already created our post, and we want to add a module that shows these 3 posts, and we have this title. So next thing is, let's add a section, a regular. In this case, first we're going to go with a 1 column row with a text module. let me change the background color for this section. Pretty sure we saved it. Yes, it's this one. And we need to, sorry about that, let me copy this. And there we have our title in this case. So let's do the same we have done before. In this case, I think that color works, maybe that one. And this is probably bold, size 26. I think it's an H2, yes, which by default its size is 26, yes. Okay, let's set this to bold and we're ready to go. Definitely the top padding and the bottom padding are different, but I'm going to adjust that later. So it's time to add this blog post. And to do this, what I'm going to do is to add a module, this module, the blog module. So in this case, we have three columns, but because this is just only one module, we don't need to create a row with 3 columns. We can do it in the same row. Inside the same row we were working, we were adding the title. I'm not sure, but for some reason this is not perfectly aligned to the left. So what I can see is that when I copy this text, it also copied a lot of classes which we don't want. So what I'm going to do is to remove all this. Let's go back to Visual. Just gonna add it manually. So let's call it the blog or whatever you like. I'm going to set this to H2, and in this case the word blog, I'm going to highlight it with this different color, and that's it. Now it's fully aligned to the left because we don't have those classes that we don't want. Okay, so as you can see, this blog module, it's showing us all the posts we have, but in a different layout. So to change that, let's go to the module settings, and as you can see here, we can set the post types we want to show. For example, in this case, post or projects, or if we create a custom post type, it will be here, so we can show that type of content. So let's leave it there in post. In this case, we haven't categorized our posts, so it doesn't matter. We just want to show 3. We don't have more than 3 posts, but that's okay. It's good to set it now, because if we in another day we add more posts, it will show us up to 10, which is the number that is set by default, and we don't want that. We want to keep it on 3 posts. Next, what I want to change before is the layout, the way we're seeing this post. So to change that, we need to go to design, and here you will have this tab to change the layout. So by default it comes like this full width, but let's change it to grid. And the grid is now showing us this in the way we want. So let's click on OK. So as you can see here, First we have the image, and when we place the cursor over, it gives us this color with an opacity and this arrow, or I think it's called chevron. Then we have the title in this bold text. This is an extract of the text, and a read more button. So let's style this. First, as you can see here, we have some different data from this post that we don't want, so let's remove that. And in the blog settings you will find this menu elements, so we can here turn off the author, the date, and the categories. Then now it's looking much better. Now let's go to design. For example, the title, we want it to be bold. Yes, I think this it's a smaller size, or maybe the line height is smaller, yeah, because it's set to the body is set to 14. That's all right, but the line height should be set to 18 pixels. And what we are missing is the read more button. So let's go back to elements, and it should be here. Yeah, here. So now we have our read more, which is in that green color. So let's go to the design, read more text. Let's change the color to this, definitely bolder, set to all caps. I think it's smaller. It has this underline. Yeah, set to 16. Yeah, it really doesn't look like 16. That's weird, because if I set it here to 16, it looks huge. Not sure why is that happening. Maybe it's set to a smaller size here in the, no, I truly don't know, but okay, I won't try to fix this, to find the reason why this is happening. I'm just gonna try to make it look the same way. Okay, so let me leave it there. I'm just gonna increase the line height so we can create a separation between this paragraph and the read more button. Yeah, looks pretty good to me. And we need to create this. So let's go back to settings, design, and here, overlay. So in this case, by default, it gives us this white color with opacity. That's it, but we want add to some opacity. So if I add some opacity here from the global colors, what is going to happen is that it's going to change this global color, and we don't want that. So I'm going to paste here the color code, and from here I'm going to add some opacity. Let's say something like that. Yeah, looks good to me. Next, we need to change this icon. So let's go back to overlay. Here you have this icon library. Well, this is the one we are looking for. And let's change its color as well. And here we can use this one. So as you can see, it looks pretty good. Maybe the amount of opacity is different, but it looks pretty similar. Great. Now we need to add this button. We already created this one with the same style. So what I'm going to do is just copy this module and paste it. There you go. Of course, we will be linking this, I don't know, to our blog section. Let's click on save. As I mentioned earlier, we need to decrease this top padding. So let's go to the section settings, in a spacing, and maybe 30 or even 20. And here, let's leave it in 30, maybe 40. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Not gonna bother changing the text of this button or those details. As I already have said before, the purpose is to show you how easy it is to use this. It has so many options and you can do so many things. So, well, let's keep going. So now we have come to the end of the website, where we have this new section with these 3 logos. Of course, this could be something like your clients and show different clients' logos. You can link each of these images to your client site or a project, whatever you want. So let's make this. Let's copy this text. Let's add a new regular section with 1 row with 1 column. As you can see, copying this is making it copy all these classes, which is not the best way, because you will be adding classes that maybe you don't want. So what I'm going to do is to recreate everything. So let's see, the size of this is 22, 26, color, I think we have that color, so this is, yeah, it's an H2, it was set to 22, and I think everything is bold, and we have these last words highlighted with a different color. Perfect. Nice. Now we need to add a new row with three columns, and as always, there are different ways to make this happen. In this case, I'm just going to do it like this because we don't need anything else. But yeah, you can find different ways to accomplish the same. So let's add an image module. So I'm going to select this. I can duplicate this by 3. Oh no. Oh, if you can see, those images disappeared. And what I did was to press Command Z, so you can go back. So what I want to do before adding the other images is align this to the center. And now I'm going to duplicate them and move them here. In this case, I think I have the same logo with a slightly change of the tone of the blue, so it looks a little different. No, I think it's the same. This is different. It's not lighter, it's darker. Yeah, that's it. And in this case, these logos, these images look smaller than here. So what we can do to accomplish that is go to design and reduce the sizing of this by maybe setting a max width of, I don't know, 700, for example, pixels. And yeah, that looks great. Let's save this and let me show you how the whole site is going. So I'm going to exit the Visual Builder, and as you can see, it's looking good. It's looking super good. I like it. Super similar to the original site we're trying to clone. So what we're missing? Well, we still have to build the menu. We need to change this logo, and we need to build this footer. And then what I'm going to do next is to build the footer, and then I'll create these two other pages and make all these changes like the logo, the menu, and show you other things. So let's make this footer. So the Divi theme comes with this footer by default. So we want to build a new one. So what we need to do is go to the dashboard. Let's go to the Divi menu, and here there's this menu called Theme Builder. Let's click on it, and this is super useful. I use it a lot. It's a great feature that this theme has, and what this allows you to do is to create a custom header, a custom footer, or even a custom body style for different pages, for specific pages. If you, for example, if you want that a certain and a specific page has a different header or a different footer, you can create a custom template for that specific page. And of course, you can create a global header and a global footer that will show to every page in your website, except for those that has assigned a specific footer or header or body style. So in this case, we want the same footer for our entire website. So let's create a global footer. So to do that, you need to go to this already created template, and let's click on Add Global Footer, and let's click on Build Global Footer. This will give us this blank page where we can add whatever we want in the same way we have been building our web page. So as you can see here, we have this blue color. I'm going to get the color code, and let's add it in the background. Not sure if we have already this color. It looks like we don't, so let's save it as a global color. There it is. And here, for what I can see, we have one row with two columns, probably of the same size, but in one column we have the logo of the company, and in the right column we have this text. Then we have another row of just one column with this divider, and then we have this another row with 5 columns of the same size. So let's try to make it that way, and let's see how this works. So okay, we said we have one row with 2 columns. I'm going to build the basic structure here first. So I'm going to add next a new row with 1 column for the divider, and then we have a row with 5 columns. So this is the basic structure of the footer, and I really like, always I find this very useful to make that exercise, to visualize what's the structure of this. It will help you to build it faster, to know what to add next. So it's a great way to understand how this works and how you can make the most of it in the fastest way possible. So next I'm going to add an image here, not sure. No, we haven't uploaded the logo in the white colors. So yeah, there we go. Next, we have this text, which I'm going to copy. I'm going to add a text module. In this case, I'm going to paste it, but without pasting any code from the other side. I'm going to change its color to white. Then definitely this logo is smaller, so let me change that. Let's go to the image settings, design, sizing. Maybe we can set a max width of, I don't know, 200 pixels. Yeah, maybe it's 180. Okay, let's see, the font size for this text is 14. So yeah, by default is set to 14. In this case, there are some words that should be bold, and we can accomplish that. For example, coming here, and from this text editor, you can select bold, and that will make it. Okay, so for what I can see, these two columns probably are not of the same size, because in this case, this is done in just 2 lines, and here the size of this column doesn't allow it to be in two lines. So what we could try, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but let's try it. Let's go to sizing, let's reduce the gutter. Yeah, and that worked. See? So different ways to accomplish the same again. Because I could do this, which it works perfectly, or I could change the structure of the row. Let's say we could choose this, I know, this one, and this will make the right column, it's much wider than it was, but this works fine. Okay, let's say this. Definitely this padding, we need to decrease that. So let's go here, let's go to design and spacing. Let's set this to, I don't know, 10, maybe 15. Yeah, and same for the bottom. And we need to remember that this row also has its own padding. So we have the padding of the section here, and then we have the padding of the row. And we could set this to 0 and increase the top padding of the section. Again, different ways to make the same thing. Next, we need to add this white divider. So let's go here, divider. This is easy because it's white, so that's it. Definitely we need to remove the padding here, so 0 and 0. Yeah, looks good. And now we're going to, I'm just going to copy this, and this is definitely a text module. So let me paste this here. Let's see what type of font and the size. This is set to 12, line height 24. So let's go to text, definitely white, 12, 24 pixels. In this case, I guess this is bigger, so it's 16. So maybe just this, it's an, I don't know. Let's set it to H3 or H4. Okay, so H3, white, bold, 16. Probably it was an H4, but it's okay. So yeah, that's it. Of course, these are all links. As you can see, when I place the mouse over, it shows me the hand icon, and yeah, these are links. So to do that, we go back to the text settings, and here I'm going to select this phrase, this word, whatever, and here in the text editor I find this icon, which is commonly used to add a link, and here I could add a URL, for example, blog. Okay, so by default, every time we add a link, it gives us a different color. So I'm just gonna link this. So to change that, because in this case the normal state is white, and in the hover state it changes the color. To change that, let's go to design, let's go to text, and here, as you can see, we have this chain icon, so click on it, and this will allow you to change the styles for the links text. So what we want is the link text color to be white, but in the hover state, again, let's click on the arrow icon, let's click on hover, and let's select a different color, for example, that. And as you can see, well, let me save it. I'm going to show you how this looks. So this is saved. Well, because of this is the first time we are adding this global footer, you need to save this, close this, and save changes here. So now if we go to our website like this, we should be seeing this footer. Yes, there it is. And if I place the mouse over, now it's changing the color in those texts that we have linked. Great. So let's finish this. So I'm just going to duplicate this module. We don't need to change the information, doesn't matter in this case. Let's click on save. And well, it was just these three, and now we have a different column with a button, a text module, a phone number, and a social media icon for LinkedIn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the text because I already copied. Let's paste it, design text color to white. Let me see the specs of this paragraph, which is set to 14, line height 24. Okay, let's change this. Yeah, and I think this is a lighter weight. Yeah, not sure about that, but no, let's keep it regular. Yeah, that's okay. What's next? I think we have created a button like this. So what I can do is enable this, and here, let's see if this works right, but I should be able to copy this module and paste it in a different page, in this case in the theme builder. where we are building the footer. So let's see if we can paste it, and voila, there it is. So another great feature is that you can copy and paste modules, sections, rows, whatever you want, even between different pages. It's not just, it doesn't only work in the same page. You can move around elements in between different pages, in different tabs in your browser, which is great. Okay, so let's adjust this. So in this case, definitely it says contact us. Probably I need to decrease this. Yeah, that was too much. And probably we need to decrease this. Yeah, that looks good. I can decrease the margin bottom to, I don't know, to 15, for example. Let's see how that works. Yes. Then we can add this phone number. We could add this phone number as a different text module. And why? Well, or I could add it here, just like that. So there's no real difference to do this. Why I will do it in a separate module is because maybe it allows me to have more control of the element. So if I add it here as a separate text, let me style this before. Okay, and what I can do is from here in the link, I could create the link. So when someone is, I don't know, in their phone and going through this page and gets to the footer and wants to make a call, you can add the link here. So it will be something like that. And that's, so every time someone presses here, it will make a call if it's on its phone. Okay. Next, let's decrease the margin bottom here as well. And now we have this social media icon. So of course, how you could make this is uploading an image of whatever you want, in this case the LinkedIn icon. But Divi has a module called social media follow, I think is this one, yeah, where you can add different social networks with their icons and of course customize each of these icons. So in this case we're looking for LinkedIn, so it's here. Let's say we want to move this, so we can just drag it and drop it. Let's say our company, it has LinkedIn, Twitter and Facebook, so I'm just going to leave those icons there. And then we have this kind of banner, which I think is made, it's made by an image, and this is a text. So I'm going to add an image here, which I think I have in my assets folder. Yeah, it's this one. Let's upload it. And below that, it has a text. Yeah, so that's fine. So this is color, the text color is this color blue, and the background is this like gray color. So let me change that. And here. We can add a background color in the same text module. So I think it's this one. Yeah. So then let's remove this margin bottom. So the image and the text it looks like one image. Yes. And now what I like to do is to add some paddings to this module. So the text, it has some spacing between each side. So let's say 5 top and bottom and 5. Yeah, maybe. I think the size of this maybe is smaller. Something like that. Everything is centered. And definitely this must be something like that. It looks a little bit smaller, so maybe we can leave it there. Another thing I can tell is that the image and the text module has like a border radius. So in this case, we need to go to border, and here we can add rounded corners. So by default is active to set it to the 4 corners. We are going to unset that, and I'm going to add 5 here and 5 there, and let's do the same with the image. So design, border, click on that, and let's add 5 here and 5 to the left, and that looks pretty similar to me. Yeah, of course, maybe this doesn't have much. Yeah, well, just going to add more padding because I like it more that way. And let's save it. And our footer is done. So let's close this. Let's save there and let's refresh this page. And now we can see that our footer is done. So next thing we're going to do is first I'm going to create the other 2 pages we have in this original site, the About Us and the Contact page. Then we're going to create the menu and add those pages and change the logo. Okay, so let's do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the dashboard, go to the pages section, and here I'm going to add 2 new pages. One called About Us. Let's publish it, and then let's add a new page called Contact. Publish. So I'm still not going to edit these pages. I just wanted to create them so we can create the menu. So to create a menu, we need to go here to Appearance, Menus. And the first thing we need to do is to create a menu. In this case, let's call it Main Menu. Then we need to select where this menu will show. In this case, we have 3 locations: a primary menu, secondary menu, and a footer menu. So we will be using the primary menu location. Let's click on Create. And now that our menu is created, we need to add the elements to this menu. So in this case, we are just going to add pages. Let's click here on View All. So we're going to add these 3 pages. As you can see, they are in the right order, but if for some reason reason you need to make changes to the order, you can just drag and drop them. As well, you can add post to your menu if you wanted to. If you need to remove any item, let's click on it and click on remove. And you can add some custom links to your menu if you are linking to an external website or something like that. So once you have added all the items to your menu, click on save. And now we should see these 3 items in the menu. And there you go. Home, About Us, and Contact. Next thing, I'm going to change this, add this logo to our website here, because by default it comes with this Divi logo. So to do that, let's go to the dashboard, and here let's go to the Divi Theme options. So here we have different options. We can, in this case, add a logo, choose if we want a fixed navigation bar or not, and many other things that you don't always will use, but it's good that you see what's here and you get to know Divi and all its options. So let's upload the logo. I think we already have it uploaded, so let's set it as a logo and let's click on Save Changes. So here in the theme options, some of the things that I use the most are this editor to add custom CSS. Here on integrations, you also can add code to the head and the body. So for example, if you want to add the Google Analytics code or the Facebook pixel code, this is a way to add that. Or you want to add the Google Tag Manager code script, you can do it here. You paste it here, you say those changes, and those scripts will load in every page of your website. So let's go back to the site, let's refresh this page, and as you can see now we have our logo added. And a different way to make this, it will be through the theme builder by building a custom global header. In this case, I won't be doing that because this is exactly the header structure, the header type that we want. But if you wanted something different, you could create a different header and use it for your purpose. So now we need to make some adjustments, like the style of this. So as you can see here, the color of the active page is different and there's no search icon. So let's make those changes. And to do that, we need to go to the theme customizer. So here you will find this menu, header and navigation. And from here you can set different styles. These are custom styles that comes with Divi. For example, here you can set it to have the logo center, or like that, like that. So this makes a sliding menu. Anyways, I'm going to keep that on default. Here we have this menu header elements. And from here I can remove the search icon. So it's good that if you install Divi and you start to work with this theme, you navigate through all these menus and get to know the theme. There are many things that you will use a lot, and there are so many things that maybe you will never use. But anyways, it's better to know what's available to do. So sometimes you want to do something very specific, and you already know how to do it. Okay, so next thing, we need to style this, and to do that, first what I want is to get this color code. Let's copy that, and we need to go to general settings, I think, or not. Let's go to header, and here navigation, primary menu, and here you have different options to style the header. And here you have the active link color, so we can paste the color code there, and there you go. I think these are bold, yeah, so we can set it like that, and now we can publish these changes. Let's close this. It looks good to me. Another thing, if you realize, that is when I scroll down, the logo shrinks a little bit, which is something you can also adjust here in the theme customizer. So if you go to header, I think it's also here in the primary menu bar. So here you can set the menu height and the logo max height. Yeah, and here in the fixed navigation settings, you can set the menu height as well, and you can hide the logo, for example, or we could, I don't know, keep this in. Can't remember what's the size of this when you're in the top, but as you can see, if I keep it at a higher number, doesn't change that much. So if you want to keep the menu bar always the same size, you need to match this height with the, I'm going to go back to 40, but if you want to keep the menu bar always the same size as well as the logo, you need to match this number here from the fixed navigation settings with here, with this number here from the primary menu bar, and of course publish those changes. I'm just gonna keep it like it was because I like it this way, and I think the original site is made like that, yes. So that's done, and now we should start to build these other two pages. So let's start by building the About Us page. As you can see in this page, we have a section as a header with the title of the page, this text, and an image with a gradient above as the background. And then we have these sections with two columns. On one side we have the image, the other side we have text, and it goes like that as a zigzag. And here we have, I think these are called Blurbs, which is a type of module that allows you to add an icon and a title or an image. Well, we will see that. And then we have this section, which is pretty much the same section we already make in the home page. And then we have the footer. So let's build this About Us page. Let's go back to the site we are building. We already created these two pages, so let's click on About Us. And by default, this page doesn't have any content. So this is the layout that gives us by default. So what I'm going to do now is enable the Visual Builder. Again, we're prompted with these three options. Again, let's choose Build from Scratch. And now we have a blank page or a blank canvas. So the first thing we're going to build is this header. So I'm going to add another one so we can see two sections here. In this section I'm going to add a color as a background, and I'm going to add these elements. So this is a text, or maybe it's a post title module. This is a divider that is not full width, and this is a text, maybe an H1 or H2. We will just find out. So let's start by adding the row with one column, and if we use the search bar here, we have this post title module. So as you can see, what this module does is to load in a text the title of the page we're creating, and also shows the author, the date, and if it has any comments, but we're going to hide that information. We only want the title. So pretty sure this was white. Font weight probably light, and the size of this is 31, and line height 31 as well. So let's change this to 31, and this is 31 pixels as well. Then we need to add a divider. We can search for it here. I think it's a 1 pixel height divider. So let's set it to white, and we need to adjust the width of the divider. Here in sizing you can increase the divider weight. So if I set it to 2 pixels, as you can see, it makes it like a grosser line. Let's leave it in 1 pixel, and we want to adjust this maybe to a percentage or a fixed size like 300 pixels. Sounds about right. Yeah, let's leave it there. And then we want to add this text. So let's add a new text module here, and yeah, that's all right. It's an H2. Let's set it to white. This is 26 and 31, so that's all right. 31 pixels, and I think it's set to bold. And in this case we have a few words highlighted in this green color. So I'm just going to do the same thing I have done before. Let's click on OK. Let me get the color right. Let's copy that code. Let's go back to edit here, text, and let's change it here in the color. Yeah, looks fine. Looks very similar. Let's save this. And now let's add this background image. In this case, I think I haven't downloaded this background image. I don't have it in my assets. So what I can do is to search for it in the elements, or there's an easier way. I always use this Chrome extension called Image Downloader. So if I click on here, it will show me all the images that finds in the current tab. As you can see, it's showing me all these images. And I think this one, yeah, I can click on this download icon and it downloads the image. So, and you could download all the images at once by select them all and click on download. Super helpful Chrome extension. Remember, image downloader with this magenta, I don't know what color is that, light blue color and the white down arrow. Okay, so let's go back here to the section. Let's go to background. Let's set the image as it's here in my downloads folder. And there it is. And now we need to get the color of this gradient, as we did when we were making the home page. So let's find out. So we have two colors. Again, let's find the hex code. I think that's it. So this should be the first gradient stop. So let's change this. And there's opacity here around 0.7%. Yeah, so we need to set this to 0.7. We can go here to be more specific. Sorry about that. 0.7. That's fine. And now let's get the second color, which is this one. And this is set to 100%. It has no opacity, so that's perfect. Okay, so as you can see, I added a gradient as a background, but it's not showing it over the image. So to do that, let's go back to background, let's go back to the gradient, and if we scroll down, we will find this option to place the gradient above the background image. Let's turn that on, and now it looks pretty much the same. I think that's it. So I'm just gonna leave it like that and click on save, or press Command S or Control S if you're on Windows. Okay, what's next? Then we have a new section. So, well, I already added, and I'm going to add a row with two columns of the same size. In this case, we have an image on the left, okay, and a text module on the right. And I'm just gonna copy this text and paste it here. This image, pretty sure I already have it. Yes, this one. Upload the image, click on OK. And now I just need to style this. So this is probably an H2. Yes, let's go to design, H2. This should be bold. Let's change the color to this one. Oh, we don't have that color saved. So let's go back to get it. Using what font? I get the color code. Let's go back. Let's create a new one. That's okay. Let's select that. And the paragraph, I think, yeah, it's black. So let's set the paragraph here in text as black. So as you can see again, the two elements inside the columns are vertically aligned. So to do that, we go to the row settings, design, sizing. We turn on this equalize column heights. We set it to yes. Then we go to advanced open this tab, Custom CSS, and here on the main element area, we will add align items center. And there you go. Super easy. So as I previously said, it's not an option that you will find in these option panels, but once you learn it, how to make this vertical alignment, it will get stuck on your mind and it will be really easy to use. And if you don't remember, just Google vertically align elements on Divi or something like that, and you will find many blog posts that they have on the Elegant Themes page on other websites. Okay, so next we need to create a very similar module but with a different order. So to do that, what I'm going to do is to duplicate this row. Then let's go to the settings and just change the order, and that's it. Then we can change this image. Not sure if it's the right one. Yeah, but I think so. And then what we can do, I think this is bigger. It's about the same. I don't know. They look kind of the same size, but maybe they are not. Anyways, I'm going to maybe try with this one. No, that's okay. For the purpose of this video, it's okay. Yeah, and here is the third image. So again, I could duplicate this one because it has the elements in the order we want, or I could duplicate this one and change the order of the columns. So I'm going to duplicate the first one, and then I can drag and drop this one in the middle, the center of those rows. Let's go to change the image, click on OK. And one thing here it's different, it's that it has these ticket icons with this text and a shorter paragraph. So let's make that. So, okay, I'm going to change this image because for some reason it's smaller and it bothers me. So I'm going to download with this Chrome extension again this image and this one as well. Let's go to change this one first. So drop it there. Yeah, now we're talking about, and let's change this. Yeah, much better. I like it. Probably they are not all of the same size, but looks much better. So we were here, we need to add this. So this is a different type of module. So let's go here, let's add a new module. So what we are looking for is this module, Blurb, which is a very useful module that allows you to add here an image, a title, and a body with content. But you can also change this image for an icon. So if you want to do that, let's go here, click on use icon, and now we need to find the ticket icon we want to use. So for example, there we have one, and there's another one. There's another type of like ticket or check mark. I don't know how it's called, but I'm pretty sure in this case this is the one we want because it has a full circle background, and yeah, that's it. So let's style this, but first I'm going to go to text and remove this body content. We're just going to use the title. And what we need to do now is go to design, here on image and icon. Let's open that. And here you can change the placement. In this case, by default, it's placed on the top, but we want it to be on the left. So there you go. Now we want to set this icon color to white, and we need to change the background. So let's use this blue. Okay, looks much better. Still not the same, of course. Then we need to make this round corners. So I think if we set this to 25, will look like a full circle. Then we're going to decrease this to, I don't know, maybe 25, 22. Okay. Next thing, as you can see here, there's a bit of padding between the icon and the circle, and here there's not, so we will add that, maybe like small padding. So if we want to keep this as a full circle, we need to make it the same size for each size. Yeah, looks a little bigger. And maybe let's decrease this a little bit. And here, as you can see, I think it looks like maybe a bit bolder. Anyways, looks fine. As you can see, there are many options here. So next, yeah, it's still a bit bigger than it should be, so let me change that. Yeah, I think that's better. It's not quite exactly the same, but it works. Now let's adjust the title. I think this is set to bold. And we can increase the line height so it looks like it's aligned to the middle with the icon. Maybe there. And looks good. Yeah, I think the title is smaller. Maybe 16. And that looks good to me. Then we can duplicate this and add as many as you need. Of course, in this case, I'm just going to leave it like that, but it looks pretty good to me. There's a space between each of these blurbs, and it's made by the margin top. So if we want to change that, we need to go to spacing here, and for example, let's set that to 0, and the space between each element will be much less than we had with the default sizes. Anyways, I'm just going to leave it like that. Another good thing to know about this module, it has content width set to 550 pixels. I don't know why, but it comes like that. So I'm going to set this to 100%. Of course, in this case, we are not using this, or this is not important, but let me show you by setting a color. So now we can see the width of the module, and if this were set to 550, or was the sizing? Well, in this case, this is, let's say, these were 300. As you can see, this is probably set to be aligned to the center, so it's showing you it's not occupying the full width of the space that we want. So that's why I set this to 100%. So if we had a longer text, okay, let's say we have a much longer title. If these were set to, sorry, where is it? Sizing. Okay, to 300 pixels. That's what this will look like. No, there's another way to align this, but anyway, what I wanted to show you is that this comes with a content width set, but if you wanted the width to be full width, you need to set this to 100%. I'm sorry, that wasn't the best explanation, but anyways, I'm pretty sure you got it right. I'm not going to keep drowning myself in this explanation. Okay, so let's save this. And now we have this blog module section, this blog post section, which we already make in the home page, or at least is very similar. And then we have the footer, which is already there because this is a footer for the entire website, so we will be seeing it in every page we create. Okay, so let me save this again, and let me exit the Visual Builder. So because we already make this or something very similar to this in the home page, there's no need for us to build it again. What we can do is go back to the home, enable the Visual Builder, and again, there are different ways to make this, but one way to do it is come here to this section, and in this case we can copy the entire section. So now let's exit the Visual Builder. Let's go to the About Us page, enable the builder, scroll down, and here we can paste this section. And there it is. It's pretty much the same. I know in this case it has a different title. I'm not going to change it, doesn't matter. What I want to show you is that you can use different elements that you already have built in different pages of your website by just copying and pasting them, which is a super easy way to create a website. And because many times in a website you have like sections or banners or this kind of post sections and they are repeat in different parts of your website, and there's no need to every time create the same thing. You can just copy and paste it, and that's it. And that's one way to do it. I'm going to remove it, I'm going to save this again to show you a second way to make this happen. So let's go back to the home. Let's enable the Visual Builder, and here I'm going to show you one of the features that I really like about this theme, which is this. Well, as you can see in the modules, in the rows and in the sections, you have pretty much the same icons, and there's this icon next to the right to the duplicate icon, which it's like a download button that it says save section to library. in this case save row to library, and of course this will be save module to library. What this button does is, well, you can save this section, so let's call it blog section, to a library in your database, which allows you to use this in different pages of your website. So we have done that. Let's go back to the About Us, enable the builder, and we want to add this section. So we go here to this add from library. I think I showed you this before, but as you can see now, we have one item that we can select and use this, and we need to click on here to use this section. And now we have it. So that's another way to accomplish the same, and this is super useful, especially when you have, I don't know, a banner or something that you want to include in different pages. This is a very good way to make that happen. And sorry, something else that I will show you, and I will show you with this. Well, in this case, we can save this header because in the contact page we will be adding a header very similar to this. So let's save this in the library, this section. For example, I'm going to set this as a header, and what I can do here is to save it as a global item. Okay, so let's click on that, and as you can see now, this has a totally different color. The section, the row, and the module are now wrapped in this kind of green lime color, which means all these elements inside this section are global elements. And what's a global element or a global section? It means that if we add this global item in a different page, and from a different page we modify it, I don't know, the style of this text, or we change the background image, it will change in all the elements in all the pages that we have it. So for example, here we add this section from the library, and if I change the content of this in this module, in this text module, for example the news, this item coming from the library is not a global item, so if I save those changes, it won't modify the same element in the home page. But if in another page I add this header and I don't know, change the background image, it will change for this header as well. So I will show you that later. So okay, so we are done with this page, I think. Yes, great. So now we just need to go to create the contact page, and I will show you more about these global items. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's save and exit the Visual Builder. So now let's go to create the contact page. Let's go to contact. Again, this is the default way it will show when you haven't added any content. So let's enable the Visual Builder. Again, we will be prompted with these three options. let me show you what happens when you choose one of these other two. So if you choose a pre-made layout, it will open up this pop-up, and here you can find all the already pre-made layouts that Divi comes with. You can select this and you are able to import using this layout. You can click here to see a live demo, and that's it. And from here, as you can see, you can access saved layouts. In this case we don't have any, or existing pages. So as you can see here, we have the home page and the About Us page that we just created. If I click on here, I can choose to clone this page, so we will have a page with the same images, the same content as the About Us page. I'm not going to do that in this case, just wanted to show you. So okay, so let's see how this contact page is. So let's go to the original site, let's go to contact, and again, as you can see, we have the same header than in the About Us page. The only difference is that here it says contact. I'm pretty sure the text is, well, it's not exactly the same, but yeah, it looks like the same. Anyways, then we have this title, we have this contact form, and this text, contact information, and the footer. A super simple contact page. So let's build it. So okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is add a new section from the library. And as you can see here, we have the two sections that we have saved, the blog section and the header. And in this case, the header section, it's showing this green world icon, which means this is a global item. I'm going to select that, click on use this section, and here it's the section added. I'm going to remove this section. I'm going to add another one under here, and that looks exactly the same as the About Us header, with the difference that this is the title of this page. So that works perfect. And if I save this, let me try to show you something. So if we go to the section settings, and let's go to image, and we change this image, I don't know, for this one, and we save this. If we go to the About Us page, we should have this image as a background. And there it is. As you can see, it has been changed in this page as well, because this header, it's a global header, it's a global item. We set it like that when we saved it. So every time I make a change to this, it will change everywhere where this is placed. So let's enable this again. Let's go back to the original image, and that's it. So let's save that. So what do we have here? Okay, we have this title, super simple. We know what to do. We need to add a one column row, a text module, this is 26, which is an H2, set to bold, H2 bold. Perfect. Let's save. And then we have this contact form. So Divi by default comes with a contact form module. Let me fix that. But we need to add a new row, in this case with 2 columns. So I added 2 columns of the same size, but I think in this case we should go with something like this. Yeah. So now in the left column we will be adding this contact form. As you can see here, we have it. Let me see the style of this. So we have a border, we have a box shadow for what I can see. Let's style this. So what I can do is to go to design. Let's go to border. I think it has a small border radius, maybe something like 5 here. Or I think I'm going the wrong way with this, because I don't know if you noticed, but I was adding this border radius here, but this is creating a border radius in these inputs, and we don't want that, because here the inputs are totally squared. So let's change that. So what I'm thinking is that these style items like the box shadow, this border, this color border, are applied to the column. So let's try that. So in this case, I'm going to the first column settings. Let's go to design. Let's go to create a border. Okay. Let's add a border width around 3, maybe 4. Yeah, I think 4 is fine. Let's change its color. I think that one is, yes. And now we need to add some padding. Maybe 30 left and right. Maybe 25. Maybe 35. Yeah, looks very similar. We're missing the box shadow. So again, let's go to design, and here, box shadow. Yeah. So one thing I can see is that here we have this captcha. So let's remove that. Let's go to the contact form settings. Here somewhere we should have this use basic captcha. So let's turn it to no. And we just need to style this button. Again, let's go to contact form settings, design, button. Probably something like that. It's white, and the color background something like that. It looks very similar to me. Yeah, same that happened. What happens before? It copied a lot of styles, so I'm going to recreate this again. It was an H2, and that's it. Now it looks pretty much the same. So now we need to create the second column. In this case, for what I can see, we have this text. So let's add a text module. I'm going to add this background color And again, this is probably made in the column. So let's go here, background, and we need to add, I think, is that one? Yes. Now, let me see what else. It has rounded borders. Column design, border, let's set it to 5. And of course, we need to add padding. So let's set everything to 30. And we will go from there. Yeah, looks good. So let's go to the text. I'm going to make this as an H2. So text will be white. H2 is white as well. Maybe it's bold. I think this is a lighter and a smaller font size. Or maybe not. Yeah, actually it looks very similar. Okay, that works. I think I made a mistake here. Yeah, I didn't click on this. Yeah, now it looks better. And one thing I might be noticing is that in the original page, this is not as wide as on here, so maybe we can change that by changing the row structure. Maybe something like that. No, I don't think that is the case. So let's go back to this. But something I could do is to go to the row settings and set a different custom gutter. For example, 4. Yes, that's it. So again, many different ways to accomplish the same result. So now we need to add these icons with contact information. So what I'm going to do is add a blurb. So one way to find which type of module is this is going to the inspector, select this, and probably you will find some classes that will let you know what type of module this is. So here, so as you can see here, this is the class of that element, and it says main blurb image. So definitely this is a blurb. Same with this. So yes, that's okay. So again, I'm going to remove the body content. I'm going to change the layout first. Next, I'm going to turn on use icon. In this case, we are looking for a phone. So I can type here phone. That works perfectly well. Let's set everything to white. Same with the title. White. Bolder. And I think smaller. Let me see. Yeah, probably 16. So I'm going to reduce the size of this icon as well. Maybe something like that. That looks good. maybe 24, and click on OK. I like how it looks. So what I can do now is to duplicate this module, or before doing that, I'm going to adjust the margin button here in the spacing. I'm just going to set it to 15. So now I can duplicate it 2 times. So we need to change this to this, find a mail icon like that, and something you can do here is add a link. In this case, you can add a link to the title or to the entire module. In this case, I'm going to use this, and anytime you want to open up your email client, you need to set it like this: mail to and your email address. In this case, I'm going to set it to open in a new tab, and OK. And you should do the same with the phone number. Here, now we need to change this to, okay, my LinkedIn. Let's change the icon. And that looks great. Yes, cool. I like it. And then we have this embedded Google Maps. So how do we get this? So to embed Google Maps, there are different ways to do it. What I personally like to do is first find your address in Google Maps, and then you need to click here on share, and you will get this embed a map option. I'm going to set it to small and copy the HTML. So once we have copied that, with iframes, I always like to go to this website called Embed Responsively. And here I can paste an iframe code, and this will give me a responsive code to embed this, and it works for iframes from YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, or even a generic iframe. So it's a super simple but super useful website. Okay, let's go back to the page we're creating, and I'm going to see if this works as expected. So here we can add a code module that allows you to add HTML code. So I'm going to paste that there and click on it. Okay, it's not perfect, it's not what I wanted, and I just realized I made a huge mistake. So that happens, and I'm going to show you how to fix it. Well, it's not that big. There are different ways to fix this. But the mistake I made is that because of I added the padding to the column, now we have these big margins, this big padding between the column and the embedded map. And we don't want that. As you can see here, it has like a 1 or 2 pixels border, and that's it. So one way we can fix that is, first, let's go back to the column settings. Let's remove that padding. Right, okay. And we can first add some padding here in each of these modules. So let's go to the text settings. Let's go to spacing. Let's try with 30 right and 30 left. and now we are seeing the same results again. Then we can do the same with this one. Let's go to design, spacing, and let's set this to 30 and 30. There's no need to add some top or bottom padding. In this case, what I'm going to do is to copy these module styles, and I just can paste it here and paste it here. That's perfect. And in this case, I think I should be adding a small, 3 pixels padding. Yeah, that looks about right. And let's save this. And as you can see, I made a mistake, but it was super easy to fix. Yeah, because there are many ways you can accomplish the same result. So let me reduce this. Maybe to 10, no, 20, at least maybe 25. Yeah. So let's compare it with the original. Yeah, looks very good. Maybe this one needs more padding in the top. But besides that, it looks pretty much the same. And well, if you want to edit more this contact form, you can go here to the settings and you can change these fields. You can add new fields. You can set what you want to happen after someone submits this form, like show a success message. You can change the submit button text, and of course you can receive an email with each submission, or enable a redirect, and many things. I won't go into the details of this, but that's it. Okay, so let me save this page and let's see the website we just made. So as you can see, this is great. It looks exactly the same, or pretty much the same. I didn't change this, but for this case it doesn't matter. And we can click on here and go back to the home. Yeah, looks great. Looks really pretty much the same. So the last thing I'm going to show you here is how to make adjustments for mobile and different devices. So let's go to enable the builder. And well, as you can see here, we have this 3 dots button. So you can click on that and it's showing all these options. And here we can access different views. So we had a tablet view, we have a mobile view, and of course we have the desktop view. And here you can choose from different devices, or you can also set a custom size for your view, which is super helpful when you want to make some custom styles for your website. For example, if you want to make this title to look smaller on mobile or things like that, this is the way to do it. So let's do that. I'm going to show you how to adjust the size, for example, of this for mobile. So to do that, we need to go to the module settings. Let's go to design. In this case, it's a text module. This is, this is an H1. And as I mentioned before, every time you place the mouse, the cursor over one of these options, it will give us this menu. So here you find this mobile icon, click on it, and you will get these three same views that we have here. So if we want to specify a different text size for mobile, we click on this phone icon, and in this case I'm just going to reduce it a little bit, maybe to 28. And if I go back to desktop view, again it's set to 36. If I go to phone, it reduces to 28. And it's the same thing for every element on the website. So I think this is an H2. If we want to decrease the text size on mobile, let's click on phone, and as you can see, we can set it to 16, for example. And in this case, this module doesn't have a padding because we don't need it in the desktop view, but I think we need it in the mobile view. So what I'm going to do is go to spacing in the module settings. Let's click on the phone icon, click on phone, and this allows you to add a padding only for the phone view. So in this case, we're not modifying a style that it's already there. We are adding a style only for a specific view. So let me add this. Let's set it to 20, for example, for each size. And as you can see, if we go to desktop, we don't have any style, any padding applied. But if we go to mobile, we have 20 pixels per side. And that's the way you should define the custom styles for your mobile version. So this is super helpful and allows you to make your website look great for every type of device. Okay guys, that's it. We made an entire WordPress website with the Divi theme. And as you could see, it was super easy to use. The Visual Builder, it's great, it's easy to use. You can access different types of contents with the modules. And basically, you just need to understand the structure and you will be able to build the website you want. So, great theme. As I said before, I have used it for hundreds of websites for my clients, for personal projects, and it's always like my theme of choice. So I'm leaving an affiliate link in the description. So if you're interested in getting the Divi theme, I appreciate if you use my link. And again, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I always try to answer them all. I'll be happy to help you if you need something, if you have any questions about Divi or WordPress or something else. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.